I chose the Air Force for education. There had also been a legacy, quite frankly, of excellence in my family. But my mother really instilled in us the confidence and the autonomy to choose what our best looked like. And so for me, that was the Air Force. That was the Air Force. And so that was why I joined. It was education, and it was what I felt was a great pathway to maximize my potential.
I wanted to go to college, but I didn't feel like we had the money to pay for it, and I didn't want to put any undue stress on my mom. I also come from a lineage of about 4 generations that have served in the military over the course of the last 50 to 60 years.
Both my parents were enlisted in the Air Force, and so I looked at them, saw their life, saw the way they represented themselves, and kind of wanted to envy that. And then the retirement plan kind of helped. And then also, I just, as I got older, wanted to help the people that were serving our country. I felt like I could bring joy to someone else's lives and like maybe one of their worst days. And so that was always my motivation. It would be like the hair regulations, which really help with my migraines, changing the nails because that was a little bit strict, allowing women to have different nail colors. Um, I'm not quite sure. I don't think that they've changed the shaven waiver yet, but I think there's a lot of talk because a lot of African American males have had to go to extreme circumstances to make their to stop having the hair growth on their face. And so that's caused a lot of medical problems, I think, long term. So it's just more so some medical things that I mostly see and hear about that have changed.
So, two big changes that really stood out to me when you asked me that questions were um, the change in the women's hair standards. I felt like that was a big change and a big win for women, especially women of color. It gives more range and opportunity to freely wear their hair in a way that is natural. So the second thing that I noticed was it started here at Keesler Air Force Base, where we were able to change the religion on the dog tags for indigenous peoples to add their tribe as their religion. I thought that was a really cool thing to see.
There is something that we talk about now. It's been around for a while, but I don't think we've always talked about it in the Air Force, and I think it is critical to diversity and inclusion, and it is that of psychological safety. To show up and to be accepted and to have the ability to bring your authentic selves. And I think that is an ongoing conversation that is evoking consciousness. It's evoking an awareness across not just our leadership tier, but in peer groups and really throughout our Air Force that I'm really proud about. And I think those are the day-to-day conversations and the engagement of getting to know people as opposed to making assumptions, as opposed to identifying what we think culturally matches someone's race and things of that nature. That is what I think is making some of the biggest differences in terms of strides in moving forward in the D&I arena.
Personally, over my 14-year career, I haven't experienced any adversity, but for any of those members who may be experiencing some adversity, I would suggest that they seek help from their Equal Opportunity Office or members of their unit.
So I have experienced adversity. I think that's really just a natural part of life. I often say it is not the what, it is the how. There are things in life that we cannot control, but how you choose to recover, how you choose to navigate adversity is the thing that I focus on, and I focused in those situations. And circumstances are different, right? So, one strategy that I may have taken to overcome adversity in one situation may be totally different in something else. But I would say more so it is through resilience, it is through strong support structures, and it's really a framework of values that I had even before the Air Force.
When I was at my last station, it was a young airman. She had voice that some coworkers were sitting around her right around the time that George Floyd had passed away, and they were laughing about it. And she felt really uncomfortable. It made her very upset. And I don't even think she voiced it to me, but she voiced it to other airmen in our section, and they just came to me and told me. And me being an officer and supposed to be a leader, I felt like it was my place to address it. So I had to have a discussion with those individuals, and not in a like punitive way, but more so like a educational way. Like, this is why his death matters, especially in the African American community for Black people. He still was a human being, and he was somebody's child and somebody's brother and sibling, and so everybody can relate to it, and they feel pain when they envision someone dying in that manner. And sometimes when you explain stuff to others like that, then they understand and can feel bad and apologize for what they said or how they made others feel. When others know the why, then they're able to be better